Hello, hooligans. Hello, hooligans. Okay, I'm being weird. Make sure on the next... Actually, you probably already have these notes connected with your vocab page on top, and it's flipped over now since you're on this side of the steps with our dividing mixed numbers. Circle the word mixed. Remember, a mixed number means that there is like a whole number and a fraction next to it. These can be intimidating if you're dividing them, because look, you got all these pieces. You got to figure out, well, what do I do first? Don't worry, that's where I come in. To divide mixed numbers, you're going to write each mixed number as an improper fraction, and you're going to put a slash, because we know to accurately describe this, let me zoom in just a little bit, it is a fraction greater than 1 whole. To change a mixed number to an improper fraction, you need to multiply the denominator and the whole number. Then you need to add the numerator. And then you're going to keep the denominator the same. So, if you need help remembering, just think. You got to get mad. Like this guy. He's super mad. Super angry. Multiply, add, denominator stays the same. He said it. Don't change it. He's mad. All right, I'm moving on. After you change the mixed number to an improper fraction, you're going to underline this, because we know you actually are supposed to say a fraction greater than 1. So, after you change the mixed number to an improper fraction, you would divide as you would with proper fractions. And that's the lesson we learned earlier. We're going to keep the first fraction the same, change division to multiplication, and then you're going to change, actually underneath I'm going to write flip. So keep, change, flip, keep, change, flip. Blah, blah, blah. Words are important. Keep, change, flip, keep, change, flip. That's what we do. That's what we do. Change the second fraction to its reciprocal. So, can I point out one more thing? If you have 2 mixed numbers, you have to get mad at both of them before you can do any of this. So, let's take a look. So, we have 4.5. Actually, I'm going to zoom in right on that spot. We have 4.5 times 2 2/5. So first step, you got to get mad. So I'm going to use 2 different colors. So I have 4 times 2, which is 8. Now I got to add 8 plus 1. That's where I'm getting that number. 8 plus 1 is 9. And my denominator stays the same. So over here, it's going to look like this. 9 over, what was my denominator? It was 2. 2 stays the same. There's my first one. I'm going to reset up the problem. Same as always. One more tip. I'm going to zoom out. You have to change them, mixed numbers, into fractions greater than 1. Do this step first. I see so many times people try to do this and do keep, change, flip all in the same effort. Save yourself the headache. Do one step at a time. You're working with me. We're changing the mixed numbers first. Then once you have your lovely problem set up, then you go ahead and do keep, change, flip. So one step at a time. So zooming back in, going to get a different color. So now I change 4.5 to 9 over 2. And now I'm going to cover this. Actually, I'll leave it in case you guys are still writing. So I'm going to get mad. Multiply the whole number by the denominator. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 plus 2, that's where I'm getting that 2 from, is 12. So rewriting it over here, I have 12 over what? Oh, the denominator stays the same. There we go. So now I have my new problem. So I'm going to come over here. Here's my new division problem. Did I change my mixed numbers to improper fractions? Remember, improper fractions? Yes, I did. Once you've done that, give yourself a check. I'm going to come over here. And now I'm going to follow my steps of keep, change, and flip. So let's keep the first one, which was 9 over 2. I'm changing my division sign. I'm changing it from this to multiplication. And then I'm going to flip my second fraction. It's reciprocal. If I flip this over, it would be 5 over 12. And then I would multiply across. 9 times 5 is, I'm going to use a different color. 9 times 5 is 45. 2 times 12 is 24. And now look, I have a fraction greater than 1. So this is my initial answer. That means my first answer. But I can simplify this. I can figure out how many times does 24 fit into 45. And in this case, it would fit in only one time with 21 pieces left over. But I could simplify this even further. What number can I divide both 21 and 24 by? I'm going to think for a second. You know what? I can divide both of them by 3. 21 divided by 3 is 7. 24 divided by 3 is 8. So your answers, and the one whole stays the same. I still had one whole pizza. So these answers, all three of them, while they look very different, they're actually all equivalent. So make sure on your notes you have all of these answers circled so you know where these numbers came from. I will say though, guys, from now on, if you have, I'm going to cover these up just for a second. If your fraction looks like this, I need you to simplify it. If it's at this level, you just figured out how many whole pieces fit in, I'll accept that for now. As we move on though, you're going to have questions where they'll need you to simplify it at the farthest way down as possible. If you're not sure what to do or how to find that number, you need to go back and think about GCF. What is the greatest common factor they shared? What two numbers fell apart that I could divide both of them by? I could have divided both of these by 3. That was the GCF. Okay, let's try one more together and then you can move on to your group work. So my first step, let me change this. Let me move that. There we go. So I'm going to get mad. I have 8 2/3 and 4 1/4. So I've got to multiply. 8 times 3 is 24. 24 plus 2 is 26. Wow, I had a brain fart there. So I have 26 over, the denominator stays the same. That's where I'm getting that number from. Okay. Now looking at the next, oh, don't forget that. Almost got ahead of myself. Then looking at the next mixed number, 4 times 4, that is 16. 16 plus 1, that's where I'm getting that number from. Makes that 17. 17, and the denominator stays the same. For this one, it's 4. All right. I got mad, I multiplied, I added, and my denominator stayed the same. I'm good to scoot this over. Let me zoom out. There we go. So now I have, I'm going to pull this down so I can still see my keep, change, flip. So I'm going to keep, change. I change my division to multiplication. And then I'm going to flip my second fraction. In this case, it's the divisor. So that would be, flipping this, would be 4 on top, 17 on the bottom. And for the sake of time, guys, I'm just going to go ahead and help you out with the answer of 26 times 4 is 104. 3 times 17 is 51. I need to simplify it. I need to figure out how many times does 51 fit into 104. It fits in 2 times with 2 pieces left over. Now, I will be honest, guys, some of these, Miss Madera had to do this math kind of on the other side. So let me show you. These are my notes. So I kind of had to do this off to the side, a little guessing and checking and tic-tac-toe and all that to figure out my products here. And then I had to do division to figure out how many times does 51 go into 104. So do me a favor, take a look at your notes, make sure they match mine completely. If you need to pause for any reason, please do so. Make sure you have all of this. Once you have this, you are ready to turn the page. Right now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 problems. all of them have mixed numbers. So my first step to you is you got to get mad at them. Do that first. And then, just like we practiced in an earlier lesson, then you go ahead and do keep, change, flip. Make sure you do this in this order. In fact, what you can do is if you want, you can go through all the problems and change all of the mixed numbers and set them up and then go back and do keep, change, flip, whichever you prefer. It does not, I have no preference. It doesn't matter the order. One thing I want to point out, on number 4, there's a whole number. 6 written as a fraction would be the same as 6 over 1 divided by 5 4/5. Don't want any confusion there, so make sure you have this. One more thing, we're going to scroll on down to number 7. Jeffrey is making cookies to sell at the school fair. For 1 dozen cookies, he needs 2 1/4 cups of flour. I'm going to circle this piece of information. If he has 33 3/4 cups of flour, how many dozen cookies can he make? They're trying to trick you with this dozen. In my head, I'm going to change it in my head to a batch. So, if we have, he has, can you underline has? That means he started with this. He has 33 3/4 cup of flour. He wants to know how many 2 1/4 are in this. So there you are. Set up that fraction, or excuse me, that division problem for you. Once you finish working on these problems, then you can go to the guest teacher and or Miss Madera and get the group work. And when you're ready, you will let us know. Good luck, guys. See you soon.